How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another show. This is You Made Roscoe, and I am Roscoe. And today's show, I got a new brother in crime with me today. You know what I mean? Or a brother, just a brother in general. Brother Los is in the building with us today for the first time, man. So, Los, I'd like to say, first of all, man, thank you for being on the show.
Brother Sam.
Man, brother Sale, man. What the hell did I say?
Hello. No.
I'm
Nah,
speedballing.
yeah, nah, yeah. Yeah,
No,
you
no,
good, brother.
but yeah, no, and the people might they might get confused a little bit because they'll be like, "There's another sale that I actually record with." So,
Okay,
uh,
okay.
so
All
yeah,
right, that's fine. Yeah, yeah.
so this is brother sale, and then there's just sale. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we got brother sale. How you doing, bro?
I'm well, brother, and thanks for having me on, so we
Oh,
can
no
get
doubt.
to it and check out this video and give a nice reaction to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We fully intend to do that. Before me and Sale, before we continue, I do want to ask for anybody who hasn't already that they please subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell. That way, you'll be reminded of anytime any future shows are being published. And with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead start this thing up. We'll stop at a time or two just to give some small little rebuttals here and there. We'll get to the end of the video, give a final assessment, and then that'll pretty much do it. So let's go ahead and do this.
The picture of dry bones in the valley is talking about you. The picture of Lazarus laying dead 4 days is talking about you. You are Lazarus. You are the dry bones. You are the prodigal son. You are the lost sheep. You are the people about whom the Bible is speaking, who will stand up in the last day when the trumpet is sounded. Black people are waking up. Black people are standing up. Black people are rising up, and they're throwing sight into that knee-shaking white man.
I keep on having visions that they put me in the auction, a runaway slave till they put me in the coffin. Tears in my eyes with a noose around my neck, screaming Kwam Yasharal, alright before my last breath. I can't believe my eyes, cause I'm seeing life distorted. The prince is in chains while the servants drive Porsche. He ain't want the baby, so she had an abortion. Grown men walking around in women's clothes in the door. Zion is acting like whores. Remove this cup for me, cause I can't take this shit no more. 1611 gotta sharpen up my sword. Living in the third day, it's gonna be a holy war. Lope up at my table in the presence of my enemies. Talk behind my back, but they don't keep that same energy. Tell me how you real, but you got them fake tendencies. Manipulating scriptures, you ain't nothing but a Pharisee.
Now, I'm gonna pause it right there for a second before we continue into it. But it sounded good to me so far. I wanna be able to get like some of your takes because me and you we've had a chance to talk a little bit like on the phone and whatnot, and we've had some like very deep and powerful conversations, which has led us to this point right now. So I really want to get like your assessment on like on what you heard up to this point, like especially like with that speech, starting with the speech at the beginning. But you just go ahead and
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I can elaborate a little bit on it, because what is really taking place is he's rapping about history of our people, of the nation, of America in general as well. And this history goes into with Malcolm X speaking in the beginning about who we are as a nation of people and being in the Bible. And we're listed in the Bible as the people of the Bible. And it goes into a lot of these different things, but he's rapping over the history of things, of what happened to our people being slaves and different things. When you re-listen to this, then you will listen to it with that type of mindset that he's going over part of history. So it's not nothing to be shunned or anything, because it is history. And these things have happened to our people. Sometimes they may be hard to swallow, but it's history and it's facts.
Yeah, no, it is a very much a truth that, like you said, people don't. It's a pill that people don't want to swallow. But we need to have these conversations. That's the thing, and that goes for not just amongst our people, but with the other nations of peoples. Like these conversations need to, in order to heal like the real conversations need to be had. You know, that's just the way I feel. But we can go ahead and continue and see what else is going on. But I like this dude. I've never heard of this guy beforehand. Like you gave me some of the music, and I've heard like little snippets. But I did say that I intentionally didn't want to listen to the whole things because I want to do the reaction. So, but yeah, we'll keep it going.
Got me suicidal cause I can't tell my friends from my rivals. Gotta keep my rifle right next to my Bible. Father, please forgive me for my sins and wicked ways. I know I violated on that covenant. We know I have picture in the day we see a solar eclipse and watch it how a shall walk over that water in Flint. Cause it's time for revenge, that's what I read in Revelations. And we don't want no money, we need blood reparations.
I mean that because these white folks see us as thugs. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think you a lawyer, if you a man, if you an African American, if you whatever you think you are. We thugs against these motherfuckers. You know? And until we lose, I'ma call it like it is. I'm gonna be a man and start. You know? And we have you can walk outside different houses like a man and he's a motherfucker.
I'm not Turner on this beat, Dutty Butman flow. Oppression and poverty while you slay my people though. Y'all dirty pigs gotta pay for what y'all did. Y'all fed the babies to gators, remember gator betas. I call it now and laters because revenge is sweet. Y'all hung my fathers from the tree cause they look like me. Boy, letter to my dog, man, I ate a call. Just like Cole, you could call him as I run a spoons. My scripture break his bones and then it make you strong. We study it for hours, this word ain't for no cowards. We building us for soldiers, it wake you up like Folgers. We prophesying wins, we looking for the wins. Cause we don't take no L's, we coming up from hell. My scriptures ain't for sale, my soul is never sold, and I will never fall.
Man. never. that probably getting deep, man. I have to pause it for a second. I love it, man. I love it. Again, the truths, the truths need to be spoken, man. But what you got to say?
And then again, the second person that came in to speak beforehand, that was Tupac Shakur came in, and he was speaking on how we are viewed by other nations and how they look at us. You know, they don't look at us as, you know, for the most part, like, you know, we're just upstanding citizens. They have a negative tone to us because it's given in the media. We have negative tones in the media. We have negative tones through the news outlets. So when other people see us, other nations see us, they don't view us in those good ways. They view us in those negative ways, you know, even though we are good people. We don't, you know, just not negative as a whole. So that's what Tupac Shakur was going over. And then the brother came right in and he was going over history, you know, gator baiters and different things like that. That's actually history where our people, babies, was used as gator bait, you know, during slavery and different things. These things are hard to hear, you know, sometimes, and sometimes they're hard to swallow because of what our forefathers may have done. These things is something that has to be discussed because it happened. It's a fact that these things happen. And when we're not told about these things, we don't have no knowledge of these things, then what's a saying that's always be told? If you don't know history, then you're bound to repeat it, you know? So that's why, you know, sometimes we have to dive into the history of things so we can have an understanding. And brother was just breaking down a lot of different parts of history as well. And he was just going into about the different things in deodorant, like aluminum that they put in deodorant. Why would aluminum be in deodorant? Aluminum starts to make cancerous things, you know, in your armpits, into your cells and different things, because your armpits absorb a lot of things, you know. So I mean, it's a lot of different things that breaks down into the history and what is continuing to go on to this day.
It's funny when you say that too, like just about the deodorant thing, because something that's happened to me, it started happening like maybe some 15 years ago or whatever, dude. But there was under my armpit, a hole started developing. It's still there. It's a little, like, about that size hole that's just under my armpit. I don't know where it came from. I wasn't born that way.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
it's that different things they put in the deodorants, like even the water, the fluoride in the water.
Right.
and different things. These things have different reactions to our bodies, you know, and our bodies react to these different things. That's where you get different cancer cells, different things, abnormalities happen. So all these different things type of happen because it's not a natural thing that we should be having, you know. So even sometimes with products, we have to examine the products and look at the ingredients and actually see what's inside the things before we actually apply them to our bodies and before we actually ingest them. Because our skin is a big organ. The skin is one organ. You put things on the skin absorbs it. So you got to be careful of what you putting on your skin, you know.
No, that's real right there. We're gonna keep this going, but
Yeah,
you said some stuff right there, like really investigating some of these products, man, because that's something that we're not paying a whole lot of attention to, or enough attention to, I should say, you know. But let's keep it going.
Deodorant, fluoridated water, children on the street selling bodies for a quarter. Friends up with my beard, mixture on my head. I look around, see a lot of spirits dead. I see the demons talking, I hear the spirits chirping. I see the spirits walking, I see my people hurting. You looking at the sons of the true and living God. Weak Edomites run the world, something nah. Teach my hands to fight, and please prepare my spirit. Banging for our power until the people hear. I sit alone in my four-corner room, staring at candles. No, literally menorahs, all this OGs I see. Staying lit like the light of Zion, that's all I be on. Karash and Karatas are all a passion, eat them peons and make it look so damn good when we slide through. Can't see the shoes up under my garment, it's like we glide through. Really, shame in these shade face cavemen. Every other day we wake up Jake in different raiment. I'm just saying, boys hotter than corduroy in the Trans-Sahara. That knives come and walk by us, I guarantee will tell you not one word will ever fail you. All we do is prophesy. While your pastor eating pork chops and telling lies. You can tell by your mentality that you probably know. Ask you if you got it with fringes, you saying probably no. Obedience is better than sacrifice, so I stay on par. The same reason Zaquan Matata why call me Basadar. You still don't get it? Better move boy, we them rude boys, ain't no bullshit. Repent or get your wig split. Hold the Torah open, let me show you what I stand on. Thinking we ain't keeping commandments, boy, you dead wrong. Back to the place where commandments can only get us what you talking about. Edomite witness, now you can't come with us. It's a closed party, only march to the eye. Yasha gonna enter there, 12 gates with no white people. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Man, they are cutting up. I don't even know. Now when I think about it, I don't even remember if I introduced the name of the group or the song. But now it's since we almost at the end of it. But the name of this is Nat Turner Dry Bones, and it's by LOZ and MYMG. But they are really ripping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I appreciated that little Ghetto Boys reference. I did not miss that. But yeah, anything you want to say before we continue, bro?
Yeah, just let it play through. It's almost over with now.
All right, let's do it.
Y'all come on, and it's a celebration. Salute to the light of Zion. Kwam Yasha Allah. 12 tribes of Yasha Allah. Be obedient to the Most High God. Keep the law, statutes, commandments. Keep the light of Zion burning bright. Kwam Yasha Allah. Isaiah 8:20. Law, statutes, commandments, faith in the Messiah. Kwam.
Bashem Yahawashai, Bashem Yahawashai, true sides. Drawing the swords, hitting the bows, severing thumbs, and head toes. Be hitting kings, as in the times are old. Swinging the women, the children, silver and gold. The fishermen that put away the fishing poles. In very small numbers, Yahweh sent forth his hunters. Strong towers they conquer, over walls they jump, over heads they stumped, over heads they stumped. This is the hunt. This is the almighty power of revenge that make mighty men cower within. By his mighty hand we been brought up out of this land. This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger. Just take the.
I'm gonna just pause it one time. Just only because I feel like I have to. This video is a little longer than usual, but I just had to pause it just because right there. But we can go ahead and finish it out.
The messages.
Are you listening?
This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger. Just take the messages.
Are you listening?
Open up your ears. This is our exodus. Don't kill the messenger. Just take the messages.
MYMG.
LOZ, AOI. Pay attention.
Definitely. And for anybody who want to see that last message back there, because I would have stopped it, but then like I have to actually like take our visual away from the video in order for everybody to see the whole thing. So if you want to see that, you can actually pull up this video without us in it, and you'll be able to see that in part, or just this video in general, you know. But that was Nat Turner, Dry Bones by LOZ and MYMG. And I like that joint. I like that joint. Like it's always like it's important for me, you know, because I'm one of those dudes who believe in the whole spectrum of hip hop, you know, just in general, you know, and everything that comes with it, you know, the good and the bad, because I do believe in balance, you know. So I don't think you can have like guys like this who are actually bringing substance and a message without having, you know, the fluff, you know, and the stuff that's just kind of there for whatever other purpose, you know. But this stuff is necessary, you know, and is I like what they talking about. You know, it's not nothing that a lot of guys have brought to the forefront over the years, but a lot of this gets suppressed, you know, because it's easier and more profitable to talk about nonsense, you know. But we here to get your assessment, bro. I get to talk all the time. I want you to be able to say what you got to say, you know, about what we just heard.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. I second that what you're saying too. How, you know, it's a lot of different other rappers and different people that bring out, you know, different music videos and just artists in general, that they're not speaking on these things. And these things that were spoken on, a lot of these things are scripturally based. You can find these things in the scriptures.
Right.
But from the beginning, what Malcolm X was speaking, you can find that in Ezekiel chapter 37. You can find Lazarus being dead 4 days in John 11. You can find the lost sheep in Matthew chapter 15, verse 24. Kwam Yasharala, what that is a Hebrew, and that means rise Israel. And they oftentimes speak in these different language, in this different language, Hebrew, because that's what the original text of the Bible was written in. Because before we do a lot of things and have understanding, we got to understand what's the history of things, like the history of a book. What's the history of a book? Before it was called a book, it was called a codex. And before things was written in codexes, then they was written in scrolls and different things of that nature. Before they was written in scrolls, then they was written on tablets, clay tablets. And that's just how you transfer and pass down knowledge and information, by writing it down. And that's something that we all have an understanding of, you know, that, you know, even if you use the old template of, if you have a classroom full of children and you tell them a story in the beginning, by the end of the classroom, it'll be a different story. But if you give them a piece of paper, you write something down and say, read it and pass it down, when it gets back to you, it'll still say the same thing that was written on the paper. Right. So, you know, that's the concept of the Bible, but then Bible just means many books. But a lot of people don't really have understanding on these basic things, you know. So they think that everything has been manhandled and touched over and just so much just manipulated, which certain things have. When you go into the King James 1611 Bible, that's closest to the Hebrew canon, which would be the Hebrew scrolls. And then when you get outside of that, when you start going to the NIVs, the NLTs, the ELV, all these other different versions, those are the ones that have been changed up. And they change it and make different words and different things of that nature. So you just have to, it's just a lot of history of things, and it takes much studying. Like the brother brought out in the song, you know, they studying for hours, and the word is not for cowards. So they letting you know that they are actually reading in the word, they're studying in the word, and to study is also to break down the words. you got to understand what's the breakdown of words. What's the true definition of a word? Because all of us fall short on definitions. If I was to ask somebody, what's the definition of subscribe? They may tell me how to use it or how it may function, but they won't be able to give me the definition per se.
Right.
You know, so that goes with a lot of us. Well, we have an understanding of things, but we don't have the definition of things. So that's what comes in with studying, much studying. And that study, you know, that helps you grow. But like I said, once again, you know, a lot of the things that they brought out in there is scripturally sound. You can find a lot of the things they saying, and it lines up in the scriptures. It's written in the scriptures, and they just rapping and putting it over a beat. And it may not be appealing to some because it's not about, you know, murdering our people and degrading our women and doing these different things, but it's also about what it's about. Speaking on is about the history of what happened to our people, things that's taken place, and some of the things that can uplift you, because knowing who you are as a nation of people and knowing where you have to look forward to, that can be uplifting.
It can be, man. You said that. like real talk. I can't put it no plainer than that. You know, like you said a mouthful and just a ton of realness that I couldn't even really put a cherry on top of, really. Like you know, that's why I'm glad you're here, you know, because you do have a much broader scope and bring another type of understanding that I think a lot of people, because we deal with so much surface level people and surface level conversation, you know, it's good to bring something with a little more depth. And I think that's you know, on in more than a lot of ways. So I definitely appreciate that, bro. You know, having you here, and hopefully in the future, just continuing to have you on future shows to bring more perspective. You know, so that was dope. That was dope.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on, brother. And thank you for having me on. You know, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, you got me thinking even about what you said, the thing about subscribe, you know, like, I'm like, you know what, people don't really think about that. Like, man, I know, because, you know, we do just in terms of just this world and this domain, you just throw it out there like, yeah, subscribe. But yeah, no, do people really think about that? And maybe some people do. And that's why they don't. You know, really, that because when you subscribe to something, you are aligning with, you know, a person's way of being or how they see things and all that. So yeah, no, man, you broaden my perspective on just
that. That's just one word of many, you know.
Yeah.
As we could all attest to, you know, like, you know, it's words that I look at daily. And I can put them in sentences. I can tell you how to use them, but to give you that true definition of the word, I would be at odds myself. You know, I would be a liar if I was just to say the definition just right off bat. Well, I couldn't do that. You know.
Yeah. No.
We all have part ignorance in us. You know.
Man, and I'm definitely not ashamed to, you know, to claim that, you know, because I've always said that, like, we, you know, all of us, no matter how much knowledge we gain out here, we still gonna be ignorant to something because you don't know everything. You know, so with that said, man, we can keep this going, but me and Sale, we have to get up out of here. Before we do that, I do want to ask. Well, first of all, I'm gonna put my thumbs up and say that this was just a dope song, and I hope that people are looking at these artists as people that they want to check out and search through the catalogs of these guys. So that would be a dope thing, because I think they're talking about a lot of really good stuff. But like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the share button, hit the playlist option. At this point, you'll pick reaction shows, because there's not a playlist for these guys. But actually, you know what? As a matter of fact, I will make a playlist for these guys, even though it's the one song. So I would just name that playlist LOZ MYMG. reactions, and you'll see this video. And at some point, we'll get those shows built up. So there's that playlist, but I do have playlists for other artists, lots of different genres of music and stuff like that. So check out all that stuff. The Cash App is on the screen for those who like to show their support or appreciation for the work being done on the page. There's that. That's about it. That's about it. Brother Sale, anything you want to throw in there before we get going?
I just want to say, you know, thank you once again for bringing me and having me on the show. And, you know, it's a pleasure to, you know, help bring out and share these brothers, these artists, you know, to the people, and bring light to their music and light to everything that they're bringing out, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with that.
Okay.
So we, like I said, we're going to get gone. We will see you guys again very, very soon, or about as soon as you click on the next video with me or brother Sale. You'll end up seeing his face, you know, coming in the future. So you see a video with us in it, you go ahead and click on it, because that probably means you're going to run into something really good. So with that said, we are dipping like a chip. So, and I know that was corny as hell, but hey, we got to go. We will see you guys again soon. Y'all be good.